when you gonna get ready to get real with what this man have done to us, man? You can't see what happened to you in Detroit. You can't see you've been bombed in Detroit. You've been shot down in Detroit. You've been destroyed in this city. Your eyes ain't open enough to see that. When you walk out the street and see your brothers in the gutter, are you mad? Cap LeBron is mad, man. I ain't seen this nigga smile since the day I met him, man. He's angry all the goddamn time. And now I understand why. You want to hear somebody tell you a goddamn lie? Take your silly ass to church. But if you want to hear the straight up goddamn truth about what has happened to black people in the city of Detroit, will you stand here with me for a little while? Jesus was a black man like you and me. Jesus grew up in the ghettos of Nazareth, which was a ghetto just like Detroit. Jesus suffered with the poor in the hood, just like you suffered, man. You need niggas like Captain LeBron. You need real niggas to come together in this city to bring brothers and sisters back together. Motown is famous to us. That music they made up there in Motown was the most amazing music in the world to us. And now where's the money from all them records? Where's the wealth? Where's the babies from all them great musicians? Where's their money at? Where's their real estate at? Where their businesses at? Where the children of the Temptations at? Can I see their mansions? Can I see their Cadillacs? Hell no, I can't see it in Detroit. You know why? Because it don't exist no goddamn more. Do you know why? Because when you join your business onto the white man steals every goddamn thing. You better find out about my boy right here, Captain LeBron, and you better join that black man.
The Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, under commanding General Yohana, presents the Big 5-0. The 50th Annual Lord's Passover, Saturday, April 20th at sundown.
But I'm here to tell you one thing. Whatsoever rank you got, you better go out, man, and do the will of the Most High like it has never been done before, and see what's coming up. That's all you got.
The 50th Annual Lord's Passover, Saturday, April 20th at sundown. Shalom.
Shalom, Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai Barakatah. To the brothers, Shalom, Yahweh Shema Awathah, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai. To the sisters, Shalom, Israel. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, coming to you on Thursday night with the Wednesday night Salaki, the Wednesday night law class. We've been bringing this truth to you since 1969. Under commanding General Yohana, and the truth that the ISUPK has been bringing forth into the world since 1969 is that the so-called blacks, Native American, and Hispanics are the true Israelites found in the Bible. Tonight is the Wednesday night law class. The Wednesday night law class. And we coming to you tonight. We're going to get into a lot of scriptures dealing with the law. A lot of scriptures. And we're going to give you some scenarios and some different things. But we want to start off looking at what's going on in a few days from now. You saw the advertisement for the Passover that's going to be celebrated on the 20th of April, the 14th day of Abib, or the first month. And that's super important because when we look at the law, the Most High gave us law, statutes, and commandments to go by. And what the first thing we want to do is to make sure that this is in the Bible. Salakia. Give me 1 second. Salakia, Adrian. Salakia, Israel. My throat got kind of dry. Oh, but we're going to keep on pushing on. Our first scripture we're going to go to is Deuteronomy 6 and 1. Deuteronomy 6 and 1. And the reason we want to go here is because we want to make sure that everything we do, when we speak in the ISUPK, it's about what the Bible says. This is about what the Bible says. It's not about what I think or my philosophy or some other person's philosophy. It's about what the Bible says. All counsel that come through, you get with the ISUPK, it's from the Bible. It's 100% Bible. So we want to go to Deuteronomy 6, beginning at verse 1. And it reads, it reads, Salakia, Deuteronomy 6, verse 1. Now these are the commandments and the statutes and the judgments which the Lord your God commanded to teach you, that ye might do them in the land whither ye go to possess it. Now, Moses is talking to the children of Israel, and this is shortly after they've come out, after the children of Israel has come out of Egypt, and look what Moses is telling them. These are the commandments, the statutes, and the judgment which the Lord your God commanded to teach you. These are the laws of the Most High. This is a law class. And here's one of the real important things that we miss when it comes to the law. We were given law, statutes, and commandments. Commandments, statutes, and judgments. This is the law of the Most High. The law of the Most High. We see it right here in Deuteronomy 6. And yet, we've given those up, and we fall for philosophies and ologies, like psychology and different things like that, to try to live like someone else. The Most High gave us His law that we might live in some type of order. And guess what? If we keep His law, rest of the earth would fall into line. We'll have no choice but to fall into line. If we had decided to keep His law, we would be on top of every nation, we'd be on top of everything in the earth, had we kept the law. The problem is, even though Moses time and time again reminded us that we were supposed to keep the law, we decided not to keep the law. And if we come all the way down through these thousands of years today, what we see when we look at so-called black communities, Hispanic communities, Native American communities, we see the result of not keeping the Most High laws. Again, we're going to be celebrating Passover. For those who know to celebrate the Passover, that's a law that was given to us, that we are to keep the Passover. But look at what the Christian church has done. They're getting you ready right now. So the same time we're keeping the Passover, they got the vast majority, the lost Israelites. They got lost Israelites who call themselves Christians. What they're going to be doing, they're going to be keeping a celebration, an unholy celebration called Easter. A pagan celebration called Easter. A celebration that's really about a fertility god. Well, let's look at whether or not it is lawful for Israelites to keep the holidays or holy days of another people. What we're going to do is first we're going to go to Amos 5:21. Is it legal, according to the Most High? Is it legal for Israelites, for so-called Native Americans, so-called blacks, so-called Hispanics? Is it lawful for us to keep holidays that were not given to us by the Most High, or holy days that were not given to us by the Most High? And we're going to go to Amos 5, starting with the 21st verse. Amos 5, and 21.
Amos chapter 5, verse 21.
Read.
I despise your feast days.
He said, I hate, this is the Most High talking. He said he hate, if he despise your feast days. What are the feast days in America? It's many, many feast days. And I want to look at the ones we really get into. Black folk, you know, we have this tendency, we have a flair of our own, so much so that we bring flavor to everything. And we have this tendency to outdo everybody in everything. And when it comes to keeping these so-called American feast days, these American holidays, we try to outdo everybody. And right now, we in the midst of the one. We got two of them back to back. Right here in April, towards the end of April, what we're going to get? We're going to get Easter, that pagan holiday, where you're going to have your kids running around here doing what? Painting eggs, colored eggs that's supposedly laid by a rabbit. And all of these are what? Fertility symbols. And this is what you're celebrating. But look what the Most High say about celebrating someone else's feast days. Read from the top.
I despise your feast days.
I hate and I despise your feast days. The Most High hate Easter. And it's not just Easter. Easter is bringing us here to look at that. Another feast day that you celebrate, it happens every day. This is celebrated every day in America. You know what you call it? You call it a birthday. Another pagan holiday. And it is so diabolical and so anti-scripture. You know what that birthday does? It causes you to force your people to worship you. Turn yourself into a god. That's what you're doing. I despise your feast days. Read.
I will not smell in your solemn assembly.
I will not smell in your solemn assemblies. the Most High, when you're having these Easter sunrise services, the Most High is not pleased with you. You're actually pissing him off because you're committing a sin. You're committing a sin. And just because you don't go to the Christian church and go down there on Sunday, you're still disobeying the law. What? When you choose this time to deliberately go out and do what? Buy your kids all type of expensive clothes. Buy yourself all type of expensive clothes so you can do what? Put on your new Easter suit, your Easter clothes, and you run around here and you want to bling and floss and whatever the words are out there today, but you want to show out. Look at me. You want to bring the attention to you. And you say, well, I don't go to church, to that evil Christian church. Well, guess what? You still send your kids to go do what? Easter egg hunt. You still go out to the Easter sales and spend all that money. You're still worshiping. You're still practicing those things associated with that particular holiday. Verse 22, read. You're still out there participating in it. When you have your Easter meal, when you go by Mama's house who been down to the church, and you know she done cooked up that nasty ham, which is no food at all, that spiral ham. Everybody know about that Easter ham. Ain't that something? You say Easter is to celebrate the Most High, and we got a law to tell us don't eat pork. And we go and we worship another God by celebrating this, whether we do it in a so-called Christian church, whether we do it down at the elementary public school with their Easter pageants, or whether we do it by going to the mall and spending tons of money that black folks really don't have just to buy some new clothes, just to floss for Easter. Easter is so diabolical. Easter is so anti-the-Bible and so Christian that it is one of the 3 times the church gets filled up really throughout the year. Mother's Day and Christmas being the other 2. Again, these are holidays in America. And I'm sure they celebrate it in the United Kingdom and Australia, wherever we find Israelites. And whether we do, we get knee-deep into these. The Most High said he hate and he despised the feast days, and he will not smell in our solemn assembly. When you go to church, he ain't smelling that. When you come together for Easter dinner, and you having your family reunions around, he's not doing that. He's not feeling that. Verse 22 goes on to say, you got that? We got verse 22 yet?
Amos chapter 5, verse 22. Though ye offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings.
Look at here. Though you offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings. That's all that food really is. All that nasty so-called food that's not food at all. All that pork and all the other things we eat that are illegal that we eat around that time. Got no business. That's what when we cooking all that up, that's like that burnt offering. That's just making the Most High angry. And we actually tell people that the Christian church teach people that this is for the Most High. But he's saying, though ye offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, read.
Though you offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, I will not accept them.
He said, I might accept them.
I will not accept them.
He said he will not accept them. All this clowning on Easter Sunday morning, all this stuff you put your children through, your husbands through, your families through for this Easter celebration, to do what? For the Most High to say he's not accepting any of your offerings. Read.
Neither will I regard the peace offerings of your fat beasts.
Neither will I regard the peace offerings of your fat beasts. Don't think just because you run it down there to the church on Easter Sunday, got that ham, that nasty ham cooking in the oven at home. You got all other type of gluttonous stuff going on in the kitchen at home. Don't think this going to bring peace to your family. Your family's still going to be tore up from the floor up. Look at us. Don't you know the reason we're in the position we're in today? The reason we live in ghettos, barrios, and reservations because we have disobeyed the Most High. We have disobeyed the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. And the Most High got something he wanted to tell you. He said, I will not regret. He's not finna bring peace because you celebrating Easter because why? You're still you say you loving the Most High. You say you obeying the Most High. When the act of celebrating Easter is in direct disobeying the Most High. The act of celebrating Easter and anything associated with it, with them 40 days of Lent, that Ash Wednesday, that Palm Sunday, all of that stuff associated with this crazy Easter celebration, right? It's nothing but spitting in the face of the Most High. And you wonder why we are dying in the streets at the hand of the police. Why? Because we're sitting up here kowtowing to women and worshiping white Jesus and celebrating stupid pagan holidays like Easter. Look what the Most High wants us to do with all this stuff. Look at what the Most High want us to do when it comes to this type of stuff. Let's read verse 23. Amos 5 and 23.
Amos chapter 5 verse 23. Take away from me the noise of thy song.
He say, take away from me the noise of your songs. Read.
For I will not hear the melody of thy vows.
So I will not hear the melody of thy vows. Take away the noise of your song. You know why he'd say that? Look here. We sing about everything. We sing, our heart get broken, we write a blues song, right? We hit the lotto, we write another type of song. We sing about everything. And so what? We got little songs and stuff that we teach the children. We got celebrations that we do that includes all type of songs for Easter. He say, take that noise away from me. Take that noise away from me. Look here, all the years we've been in America under this captivity, if Christianity taught us to serve the Most High, we would be keeping this law, statutes, and commandments. We wouldn't be keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of the white man, of the devil. That's what we do. We try to out-white the white man in keeping these holidays. But the Most High hates the American holiday, and he hates you for keeping it. It's a sin to keep these holidays. In fact, God, listen to how he talked about this. Verse 22 say, though ye offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, I will not. He won't accept them. He won't accept. Take away from me this noise. Your song, you think you sound good, but to the Most High, it's just noise. It's just noise. I don't care how many different Christian Easter songs. My mother is a God song, Christian religious songs y'all write and call it gospel. It's still an abomination, and the Most High hates it, and he calls it noise. And he say he won't hear it. We're going to drop that. We're going to drop that, and we're going to go to Deuteronomy. We're going to go to Deuteronomy and get me Deuteronomy 32, I believe it is. Deuteronomy 32. And what I'm trying to teach here, I don't care what holiday it is. And if you notice, this devil, he got a holiday in almost every month. Every month, he got a holiday going on that he sucker black folks into celebrating. We got something coming up in a couple of months. I was reminded today something called Juneteenth. Something called Juneteenth. That was a way to make you think your captivity was over. Your captivity is not over. Your captivity is not over. We still captive. And you know why? Because we refuse to obey the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. Deuteronomy 32, we're going to start at the 16th, pick it up at the 16th verse. Deuteronomy 32 and 16. Read, please.
Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 16. They provoked him to jealousy.
They did what?
They provoked him to jealousy.
They provoked him to jealousy. We have provoked. Now, to provoke, let's take a look at that word. We're just going to pull up the definition real quick of the word provoke. And it's important when we teach, we don't skip over words. We don't skip over words. These officers would have me do this all over again if I didn't go this. Because when we say provoke, we just want to pass by there. But listen to this. Provoke. This is from the online dictionary. It's a verb meaning to stimulate or give rise to a reaction or emotion, typically a strong or unwelcome one in someone. The decision provoked a storm of protest from civil rights organizations. So what we are doing when we disobey the Most High, what we are doing when we keep these holidays, we are provoking a cause to rise up in the Most High. Action towards us that's going to be strong and negative. Read.
They provoked him to jealousy with strange gods, with abominations. Provoked they him to anger.
Look here. Look. The things that were written beforehand, that's this Old Testament, was written for our learning. That's what the scriptures teach us. So we're going to see what we can learn from this. And what we're going to do, we're looking at Israel back then provoking the Most High. And let's look at what we're doing today. Because I tell you, it is a crazy thing to see how many people really believe Christianity is the way, when Christianity is what is the basic, is the main catalyst of your provocation of the Lord's anger. In other words, because of Christianity, have taught you to disobey the Lord so thoroughly. Christianity has taught us to disobey the Most High so thoroughly that it is the main cause of how we provoke the Most High to with strange gods. We provoke him to jealousy. Now, we do line upon line, precept upon precept. We're going to jump over real quick to Exodus, and we're going to come back to Deuteronomy 32. But let's go to Exodus 20 real quick. We're going to go to Exodus 20 real quick, and I think it's going to be verse 4. This is Exodus 20 starting at verse 4. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in the heavens above, the earth beneath, or that is in the waters under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God. I'm a jealous God. But what we just found out over in Deuteronomy 32 is that we provoke him to jealousy. We provoke him to jealousy. He said, for I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the father upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. When we keep Easter, when we celebrate Easter, and the one right after Easter is, this is such an evil holiday, and it's painted to be so sweet and cuddly, but it is probably one of the most evil holidays we celebrate. It's that disgraceful, disgusting Mother's Day, the hellacious Mother's Day, where they've turned you into worshiping women, beginning with your mama. Now, if you want to see a black man get nervous about not getting something right when it comes to holidays, you look at Valentine's Day, you look at Mother's Day. Now, what's going to happen is they're going to buy flowers. They're going to make billions of dollars just on flowers and candy. And then they're going to take their mothers out to dinner, or their wives out to dinner, to do what? To break other laws by eating disgusting shrimp, crab, pork, lobster, all these non-foods. He's a jealous God because we provoke him to jealousy. We provoke him to jealousy. Back to Deuteronomy 32. And we're going to pick it right back up. Verse 16, they provoke him to jealousy with strange gods. This whole Mother's Day thing is all a part about that ideology that the woman ought to be worshipped. This is paganism, and they have provoked, we are provoking the Most High to jealousy. And he's promised us over in Exodus, look at here, that the iniquity, the sin is still going to be visited upon the children to the third and fourth generation. And look what he says, of them that hate me. When you go and you celebrate Easter, you verify that you hate the Most High. You disobeying the law, and you verifying by disobeying the law, by sinning, by practicing this iniquity, you're verifying that you hate the Most High, that you hate him. And then you wonder why. You wonder why you can never get ahead. You wonder why, how you get to live to see your whole community go from having black-owned business to you don't own nothing in the community. You don't even own your own house anymore. We are so messed up because of our sin that our community have gone from, watch this, homeowners, factory workers who was making halfway decent money, to you go into our communities now, and folks that used to own their house, that grandmama left them, that their daddy did leave them, or that their mama left them, or uncle gave them, or whatever. Somehow they got into a situation where they had to sell it and then rent it back from the Arab that they had to sell it to. Why? Because we refuse to keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. That's our whole problem. Look at here. Watch this. If you want to settle all the problems of so-called Black America, of so-called Latin America, of so-called Native Americans, all we need to do is return wholeheartedly to this book called the Bible and live according to these laws, statutes, and commandments, not living according to them. Not living according to them. You know what these holidays do to make sure it happens to you? It happens every Christmas, every Easter. New Year's. First of all, it takes away your wherewithal, your money, your finances. When you disobey the Most High, you disobey the Most High. That's why, guess what? You work all year trying to pay your bills, and then here come that damn Christmas, and you go participate in this damn holiday that the Most High hates, and find yourself, what, $10,000, $20,000 in debt again. And now you got to work all the next year just to try to crawl out from under that. In the meantime, you had to rob Paul to pay Peter. And you had to let this go and that go. And now you back to paying rent in your own house because your mortgage got behind. And you had to work out a deal where you had some robber baron come in and do what? Help you save your house from foreclosure. Why? Because you disobeyed the Most High. You still eating shrimp, crab, pork, and lobster. You celebrate Christmas and you praise white Jesus. You think angels are little naked babies running around with a bow and arrow. This is what happens when you turn away from the word of the Most High, or you accept a watered-down, bastardized version of what the Bible says instead of reading it for yourself. We're going to keep on reading. Verse 17, Deuteronomy 32, verse 17. We see that we provoke him to jealousy with strange gods. You know, the god of wood that Deuteronomy 28 talks about, and then god of stone, that dumbass rock that the Muslims walk around, and that cross that the Christians throw up in front of you. Those are strange gods. Gods of wood and gods of stone. Those are strange gods. And with abominations provoke him. Look at some of the abominations that the Christian church gets you to participate in. Homosexuality. Child pedophilia. Whorism. They call it situational monogamy, but it's just whorism. A woman jumping from one man to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. They got these gay pastors, gay ministers of music sitting up here doing all this swashing and doing everything. Abomination. The Bible says that for a man to lay with a man as if laying with a woman, and a woman to lay with a woman as if laying with a man, or is an abomination unto the Lord. That's in both the Old and the New Testament. So Christians already know. Matter of fact, let's go look at it. Let's go to Romans. We're gonna go to Romans real quick. Let's look at this thing. And you tell me what this describes. I want to say Romans 1. Deuteronomy. While we're looking up that Romans, what I'm looking for over there in Romans is give me that to where they gave up the natural use for themselves. Back to Deuteronomy 32. We're going to pick it up while we're looking for that. Let's pick it up at, is that 17? We're going to pick it up at 17.
Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 17. They sacrifice unto devils.
Unto who?
Unto devils.
But the Christian church say they sacrifice unto God when they get up early in the morning and go to Christmas and Easter sunrise service. They sacrifice unto who?
Unto devils.
Read.
Not to God.
Not to who?
Not to God.
So look here. When you come in here and you say, I'm going to sacrifice so I can get this brand new suit and go down here and do this dance in this church, you're not sacrificing to God. You're sacrificing unto devils. And do you know that the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of? Look how you're sacrificing to him. You used to say you got to have new suits, so you run down there and get these brand name new suits, and you give these devils all your money, and now your child cannot eat a healthy meal. Why? Because you sacrificed unto those devils. You gave them your money. You're not sacrificing unto God. You sacrifice unto devils, and you know what Creflo Dollar does? He buys him a new jet with the money that you give him. Since you won't send your tithes in to the ISUPK, the true priest and prophet of the Most High. You give them to these jackleg preachers out here on Sunday morning telling you all kind of stuff that you want to hear. Anything that you want to hear, that's what they're telling you. They sacrifice unto devils. That's what you sacrifice unto, not to God. Read.
Kind out of one kind. So lucky. Kind. To gods whom they knew not.
To gods whom they knew not. Read.
To new gods that came newly of.
Wait a minute. This is to gods that are that Abraham and Isaac knew.
To gods that came newly up.
Came newly up. Read.
Whom your fathers feared not.
Who your fathers feared not. Who your fathers feared not. And you know the Bible, this is not the first place the Bible say that. Deuteronomy 28. If you go to Deuteronomy 28, they say in there, and when you go into this land, you're gonna worship. You're gonna worship. Let me go get that. I gotta go get that. Deuteronomy 28. And we're looking for wood and stone. And I'll tell you exactly where that's at in just a second. This is the same gods that this scripture is talking about too. And 28 and 36. Deuteronomy 28 and 36. I'm going to go ahead and read it for time's sake. The Lord shall bring thee and thy king, which thou shalt set over thee, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, and there shalt thou serve other gods, wood and stone. And as we get back over here to Deuteronomy 32, we see that this is the same. It's the same thing. Can't we see it, people? We are in this country provoking the Most High to anger because we're running around here chasing after new gods that came up newly, who our fathers never knew, never feared. American gods are new. They are new. They are new. Christianity is new. We didn't practice Christianity. We didn't do that. We didn't do that. We didn't do that. We didn't eat shrimp, crab, pork, and lobster. We didn't do that. So lucky, otherwise. We didn't do that. But here we are now in 2019, and we're sacrificing unto devils, and we're talking about why won't the Most High. So lucky, otherwise. Lucky? We're sitting up here wondering why We still live in ghettos. Why we can't do anything as a people, and yet we're running around here worshiping other gods, new gods. We still not obeying the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. We're still not obeying the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. We have no business in Islam. We have no business in Christianity. We have no business in religion. We shouldn't be learning anything from these people. Now look how dumb we are. Look how dumb we are. They've taken our book, our records, and somehow fabricated a religion out of it, brings it back to us, and we accept it. And we accept it. And the Bible has nothing to do with religion at all. It's a culture. It's our culture. It's our historical records. And the Most High, really, he's given us another thing not to do. He said, don't learn the way of the heathen. Jeremiah 10. Let's start there. Jeremiah 10. We're going to take a look at that. We're running around here trying to be so much like the white man that is sickening. It is totally, totally sickening. And here's the sad part. Our preachers we got enough access to information now that the same preacher that tells you to worship white Jesus, the same preacher that got you coming down there on the first day of the week and acting a fool on the Sabbath day of the week, the same preacher that got you eating shrimp, crab, pork, and lobster because he lied to you and told you the laws were not done away with, were done away with, know that he's lying. He knows, she knows that the laws are not done away with, that the Most High is the same yesterday. He's the same today. And he still requires us to keep his law. Every time that Christian sister stands up and decides she's going to preach to you and teach you the Bible, she already knows that she's in violation of the Most High law. The fact is, if they so in love with the damn white man, they so in love with the devil and the money that the white man give them, that's all they care about. That's all they care about. So what they do is they teach you to get farther and farther away from keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, i.e., we got the Passover that's going to be here shortly, but they tell you to go celebrate what? Easter. They tell you to get ready and celebrate what? Mother's Day. That's what they tell you to do, to celebrate Mother's Day. When we got the Passover, and you know what the Passover really is? It's a celebration of the Most High destroying our Egyptian enemies and delivering us out of their captivity. What is Easter for? To honestly tell you, I have no clue what the white folks trying to get out of Easter. Except for to pull us away from keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. What they get from Mother's Day, I don't know. Except for to pull us away from keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. That's what's really, really going on. That's what's really going on. And I'm not going to belabor that point. We're going to get into Jeremiah. Let's see what Jeremiah has to say. Jeremiah 10, starting at verse 1. Jeremiah 10, verse 1. And for time's sake, I'm going to go ahead and read it. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Now, the first thing we got to get through our head since the Christian church that got us brainwashed is that the Most High is only speaking to us. The Most High is not speaking to that damn Edomite. He's not speaking to that African, that Cushite, that Hamite. He's not speaking to that Ethiopian. He's not speaking to that Ashkenaz. He's not speaking to Esau's folks. He's not speaking to the children of Lot. He's speaking to the house of Israel. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Listen to this. Here come. This is a law now. This is a statute. Here we go. Thus saith the Lord, verse 2, learn not the way of the heathen. Every holiday you celebrate that is not outlined in the law, statute, commandments of the Most High, that's not outlined in the scripture, is an heathen holiday. You hear what I'm saying? Every holiday, if it's your birthday, that's heathen. If it's Mother's Day, that's heathen. They got what else they got? They get Sweetest Day, Secretary's Day, heathen. That's all heathen. Valentine's Day, heathen. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen. And not only is it a holiday is the way of the heathen, but this how it is. This is something that they practice year to year, annually. This is something that they not only do today, but they spend the rest of the year getting ready to do it next year. You know, they started putting out Easter commercials back around right after Valentine's Day. And you know, the Valentine's Day commercial came what? Right after Christmas. And the Christmas commercial came when? Right after Halloween. And the Halloween, it goes on and on. They perpetuate this nonsense. They perpetuate this nonsense. And it's all to do one thing, to get you to sin against the Most High. To keep you out of the favor of the Most High. When you don't keep the laws and statutes and commandments of the Most High, there is something called judgment, punishment. There's a punishment that's going to happen when you don't keep it, period. That's why we are in the condition that we are in today as a people. It's because we have been led astray by those who look like us, who told us lies of the white man and called it religion, and we accepted it. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen. And who's the heathen? Anybody that is not on the 12 charts that we put up. If you're not a Native American, if you're not a so-called African American, if you're not so-called Hispanic American, if you haven't been caught up in that transatlantic slave trade, then you're a damn heathen. If you're from France and you're white, you're a heathen. If you're from the Caucasus Mountains, you are a heathen. If you are Japanese, you're a heathen. Vietnamese, heathen. Ethiopian, heathen. Kenyan, heathen. Obama, heathen. He's a goddamn heathen. He's not us. He's not an Israelite. You goddamn heathen. And they told us to learn not the ways of the heathen. And watch this. We should have been caught this one. And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. This is a law. We ain't supposed to be running around here talking about what's your sign. We're not supposed to be running around here talking about he's a Virgo with a Sagittarius rising. I don't know what the hell that is, but y'all sisters got me twisted with that. Right. Y'all got me twisted with that. I don't know what that is. I used to run from that when my mama used to talk about it. I had no praise the Most High that he just would not let me get off into that. All this zodiac nonsense. Get out of here. You sound like conscious people when you do that. And I'm talking about them damn gay-ass Egyptologists folk running around here. That's who studying our. Heathens are amazed by the signs in the sky. Heathens are amazed with the signs of heaven. We get you know what an eclipse is, right? It's nothing more than during the orbit, the earth passes between the sun and the moon, and the shadow of the earth is cast on the moon. But they think this is some great feat that they got to get out here and go blind trying to look at it. Or the moon passes between the earth and the sun and blocks out the sun. And they just, it's just amazed to them. It's just amazing to them. He told us, don't be amazed. The Bible said right here, don't be dismayed by the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed by this. That's a whole industry. That's a multi-billion-dollar industry full of nothing but what? Soothsayers. That's why they got 1-800-Miss Cleo. So she could come. And guess what? She come and take your money. And this ain't new. This ain't new. Look, they had the lady reading folks when I was a little boy. This is not so new. This is so old that Richard Pryor had jokes on plastic vinyl albums, talking about don't worry about the monkey down at Miss Rudolph's, because she was the root lady. This is all nonsense. This is what Christianity was suckering us into the whole time, getting us into all types of witchcraft. Christianity is the reason your neighborhood looks like a damn third world country war zone right now, because they told you that the white man's water was wetter, his grass was greener, his ice was colder, and that all you rich niggas should move out there with the white folks. And when you left the ghetto for all the drug dealers to go through and take over. And you know why? Because the Christians was lying all along. They had you full of sin, full of drugs, full of homosexualism. They tell you the laws are done away with. You can eat shrimp, crab, pork, and lobster. Just the dietary law should be enough to stop you from listening to Christians. What's their favorite meal? Ham, fried chicken, collard greens full of salt. Oh, don't forget, you got to season them collard greens with them ham hocks. Right. You got to season them greens with. You got to put 4 or 5 ham hocks in it. You see what I'm saying? And then, if you get something sweet like some baked beans, don't forget to put that bacon in it. You don't hear me now. That's what's really going on in Christianity. They do everything to keep you from studying this Bible. If somebody was to ask me what ultimately made me leave the Christian church, I would simply say, I began to read the Bible for what it says, and I found out what the Bible really says. What has kept me out of the Christian church, because I've been studying under the ISUPK and really know what the Bible says. Really know what it says, you see. The Lord hates America holidays. The Lord is going to get you. I'm not playing. He's going to get you for celebrating these holidays. I wouldn't be surprised if this Easter all type of death rains down on those jakes who know better. You know this is an abomination unto the Most High, and you still keep it. You still keep it. We're going to keep reading. Jeremiah 10, verse 3. For the customs of the people, are vain. For the custom of the people are vain. Now look at it. That means they're nothing. So why do we celebrate Thanksgiving? Well, we've been celebrating Thanksgiving forever. I ain't known that. The custom, according to the Bible, is what? Vain. It's nothing. Celebrating Thanksgiving ain't going to amount you to nothing. It's ain't going to put nothing better. It ain't going to get you no closer to the kingdom of heaven. Celebrating Easter actually draws you away from the kingdom of heaven. Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, your birthday, Father's Day, all these customs are vain. Are vain. And this Juneteenth, and Kwanzaa, vain. Kwanzaa, I remember that. I feel so silly. I think about Kwanzaa and the 1 or 2 times running from Christianity, I ran into Kwanzaa. I feel dumb as hell. Dumb, just stupid. Just stupid. A holiday made up using African language. They call it Kiswahili as the main language. and we doing the African festival, the same Africans that went and rounded us up and sold us to the white man and put us on the slave ship. The same Africans. And we ran from Christmas and ran into Kwanzaa. And the whole time, Hanukkah was right there. The whole time the Passover was right there. The whole time the Feast of Trumpets, the Day of Atonement, all of this is right there. The Feast of Unleavened Bread is right there. The Feast of Purim, all that is right there. This is in the laws and statutes. We got laws to keep these. We got commandments to keep these holidays, these high holy days, and we give all of what the Most High gave us up, what He told us to celebrate. We give that up to celebrate the Salaki, the damn 4th of July. We give all of it up to celebrate the 4th of July. And when we celebrate the 4th of July, we celebrate our captivity. When we celebrate Easter, we really celebrate our captivity. When we celebrate Thanksgiving, we celebrate our own captivity while we directly disobey the law, statute, commandments of the Most High. Right. Got a comment, sir?
Yeah, on top of that, if you celebrate period, just being happy in America, you celebrate being a slave. Or even a person celebrating their birthday.
That's right.
You celebrating being a damn 10-year-old slave instead of a 9-year-old slave.
That's right. That's right.
You feel me? Every time a person celebrates or gets happy, you happy about being a slave for another year.
That's heavy. That's heavy. That's real heavy, because if we study these scriptures like we supposed to, and if you listen to these priests and prophets of the Most High, this ISUPK, you'll find out that America is what? It is not your rest. You ain't got time to celebrate nothing. This is war. He's preparing slaughter for these demons, for these devils. He prepares slaughter, and you sitting up here celebrating with them. Revelation say, come out of her before you become partakers of her sin. Well, of the wrath of God that's coming against these people. Let me explain something. And this is a law class. You might want to ask yourself, are white people so dumb that when they read the Bible, that's the shit they really got out of it? Or are they such cunning hunters that when they got a hold to our records and they read them, they got together as experts unto themselves and conspired to say, hey, we can twist this and we can twist that, and just totally blind these people. And they just twist this and twist that, and now we got this thing called religion, and we can't get our people to let it go for nothing. Right. We begging y'all. Paul said, if it was at all possible, I wish that I was accursed for my brother's sake. And we understand how he feels when we see you walking downtown Detroit dressed up like a goddamn leprechaun. Got your beard green, your hair green, and your eyebrows green. And you got your wife, girlfriend, whoever walking with you with half pink and green hair. And have you lost your mind, Negro? Hebrew, have you lost your mind? Can't you see? Can't you see when every October 31st, your ass dress up like somebody else, right? And go out and pretend for a party that's about demons and goblins and ghosts called Halloween, and you dress up and then you send your kids to the Christian church and talk about, well, we don't want them out in the street, it's too dangerous. But you send them in the Christian church for heaven and hell socials, where them Christians are molesting your children and turning your daughters into strippers and your sons into skinny jean wearing homosexual ass rappers. Right. Why? Because you're disobeying the law, statute. This is what the Christian church is doing. If the Christian church followed the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, it would be what? It would be logical that the people in the Christian church will follow the law, statute, commandments. In other words, if the Christian church taught that you keep the Passover, you know, black folks will keep the Passover. But the Christian church teaches that you keep Easter. So what black folks keep? Easter. They teach that you keep Valentine's Day. So they keep Valentine's Day. You keep Mother's Day. That's what the Christian church teach. But that's nowhere in the Bible. The Bible don't teach that. The Bible don't teach that. And I'm going to stay on these holidays because, like I say, the most notorious of holidays is that goddamn Mother's Day. Look at here. Man, we can put that whole industry out of business if we don't let, watch this, our kids guilt us and our girlfriend, our wife, or whoever guilt us. Our mama guilt us, our sisters guilt us, our daughters guilt us into disobeying the Most High. And they do it with emotions. Let me explain something. Until black folks, Native Americans, and Hispanic folks, until we take this Bible seriously, we're going to stay in the condition we are in, and it's going to just get worse and worse and worse, progressively worse. Because people talk about the good old days. Now, they was killing, people don't believe me, but you know they was killing us back in the 70s and the 60s, just like they're doing now. They were shooting us down in the street, killing us. Little black boys and black girls was coming up dead. They were doing it, and we call that the good old days. No, we are in hell. We are in living hell because we refuse to turn back to the law, statute, commandments of the Most High. We refuse to put our faith in the Most High. And how do we prove that we have faith in the Most High? We obey His law, statute, commandments. Yahweh shall say, if you love me, do what? Keep my commandments. Keep my commandments. This is the law class. The whole reason, I got you, officer, I'll get you 1 second. The whole reason we catch hell the way we do today is simply because we disobey the Most High at every turn. Officer 50 Barak Yah, the Lord's likeness. You got a question or comment?
I just got a quick comment, sir. It's heavy that you bring out the law because I remember when I was younger, my dad celebrated all the holidays except for one holiday.
Uh-oh.
And you know what that holiday was?
What was it?
That holiday was Halloween, sir.
Uh-oh.
He said that is the devil's holiday.
That's the Christian holiday, for sure.
Sir.
You know, but it is the devil's holiday. But all these holidays are the devil's holidays. Every last one of them is the devil's holiday. But he wouldn't celebrate that one. And that's, you know why he wouldn't celebrate that, right? Because he fell for that the devil was this little red nymph living in the earth, down in the bottom of the earth, in the pit of fire somewhere. He fell for the cartoon devil. He didn't realize that the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. So he felt comfortable celebrating all these other bastardized holidays and feel justified not celebrating that. He don't know that they all belong to the same.
And this the super part about it. If it wasn't for the candy, everybody would think it was fake candy. You know, if you see skulls and bones, you would think you was in a damn Illuminati synagogue somewhere about to worship the devil. Skeletons and horns and swords and all type of junk. You would think this is satanic as hell. But since somebody out there passing out candy and playing with kids,
it's all fun and
that
games.
makes it good. That makes it look good and feel good to them since candy is involved. Candy takes away all of the danger, you know, from Halloween.
Go ahead.
That's heavy that you said that. If you pay attention, they get our kids
for the parents, for us to celebrate the holidays. Christmas, Halloween, Easter. I remember as a kid, that's how they draw us in to celebrate these holidays.
That's heavy because when you look at this, our children are under assault now. Our children are under assault now. Now, we have a law in Israel that homosexuality is an abomination. A man can't sleep with a man. A woman can't sleep with a woman. Homosexuality is an abomination. It's something that the Most High hates. It's something that the Most High hates. But watch how they got you. Watch how they get you. Right now, while you and I go out here and we lift up our voice like trumpets on these street corners, while our brother, priest, and prophet go out here and do the same thing and risk their life, when we send our children off to public school at 6 years old, 7 years old, sitting in the classroom is a teacher who's going to teach them that homosexuality is not only okay, but it's normal. And then when they turn on the cartoons, it's going to teach them the same thing. I thought some people told me some years and years ago, I said, what the hell up with these little things called Teletubbies? Oh, you know they gay. I didn't even know they spoke English. I didn't. But my whole point is that the way they get you, they get our children, because we allow our children to be exposed to whatever they want to expose them to. When we send our children, the dumbest thing we ever did was give up our schools. Dumb as hell. They went through all that march in the Little Rock 5 and the folks down in Mississippi busting in the schools, and we took our children, our precious, precious children who don't know anything. All they know is what mama and daddy teach them. And we took these babies and we raised so much hell under Martin King to where we begged the white man to take our children and educate them, to teach them. We call it busing. The school board versus Brown versus the school board of Topeka. The Supreme Court 1954 decision making separate but equal illegal. What we did in that, again, begging to go after what did Jeremiah say? Learn not the ways of the heathen. Trying to be like heathen. What we argued and fought until now. Look, when our children go into public schools, we start counting how long we got before this boy is going to either end up being in prison or be a straight out homosexual faggot. We start counting the days before how long it's going to be, and it's only a matter of months. Not that long before this child, this female, end up sexually abused, and the boys are sexually abused too. Sexually abused by some Christian, and end up by her mama's boyfriend or whoever, and end up on some stripper pole somewhere, or end up herself selling drugs, or having 6 baby daddies and 7 babies, and now her children are being molested by her boyfriend. All because we chase after the white man to chase after his ways and practice his holidays instead of turning to the Most High. Everything that's wrong with black people is the white man's fault. Everything. Because, and it's our fault too. We're culpable in that we turned away from the Most High. We want this to stop. Do you really want it to stop? Then what we need to do is to turn back to the Most High. To turn back to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. We have laws about everything. It's over 600 laws. Most people only know about 10. They might know a few more, but it's over 600 laws. And the law is not grievous. The law is not grievous. The law is a good thing. It takes care. It shows us how to live. And if we but obey the law that's to us, the rest of the Most High makes sure the rest of the world fall in the line. Exodus 22 verse 1 says, if a man steal an ox or a sheep and kill it or sell it, he shall restore 5 oxen for an ox and 4 sheep for a sheep. What is that? That's a law. That's a law of how we ought to treat each other. You know, there's a law. Let me give you a scenario. I'm sitting up here with Officer Barakia, and he come to me and say, Officer Mashah, times got kind of short. I need to borrow $100 to my next payday. That's my brother. I'm gonna loan it to him. But you know what I cannot do? I cannot tell him, well, when you give it back, I need $110 back. That's called usury. We got laws that we cannot charge interest to other Israelites, when we loan them money. We only can get back what we loan them. But these heathen, I can charge them interest up the yang yang. You see. Right. I can charge them interest up the yang yang. Why? They're heathens. They're not the Lord's people. But the Lord's people are my brothers and my sisters. And so I can't do that to them. I do treat them differently. I have to treat them the way the Most High say treat them. I have to love them the way the Most High say love him. We have laws. Say if a thief be found, verse 2, if a thief be found breaking up and be smitten and he die, there shall no blood be shed for him. In other words, nigga run up in your house stealing, and somehow your young son or even your dog get a hold to him and kills him. He get hit in the process. He's a thief, and he take on a blow or two, and no blow or two kills him. Nobody's going to jail for him in Israel. He's a thief. But what happens in America? You get your house broken into, and you somehow, God forbid, have to shoot this fella, but he falls outside your window. If you're a black man or a black woman, you're going to end up looking at going to jail. Ain't no stand your ground. That stand your ground, that's for white folks. That's for white folks. But the laws of Israel, as they apply to us, are meant for us to become great. They're meant for us to become great. If we eat right, we're going to be more healthy. If we treat the laws, the way we treat each other, how we're supposed to treat each other, that law is given to us to maintain the brotherhood. To maintain the brotherhood. So, Lord, I can't sleep with my brother's wife. I can't do it. That shouldn't be grievous to me. I can't sleep with my brother. That should not be a damn problem with me. Right. But you know, we got Israelites who are jakes to the core. They say you ought to accept homosexuality. That we ought not be hard on homosexuality. That's an abomination. The Most High hates homosexuality. The Most High hates sin, period, and he hates the sinner. Read your scriptures and quit listening to that goddamn Christian preacher. Quit listening to your grandmama. Quit listening to your mama with their rendition of what the Bible says. They don't have a 1 ounce of understanding of the Bible. They have no understanding of the Bible. They think it's a religious book. They have no understanding of the Bible. We're gonna drop Jeremiah 10, pick up Exodus 22 and 18. Let's take a look at that. The Lord hates these holidays. He hates watching us go out here and get all type of caught up in this paganism. Thou, verse 18, Exodus 22, verse 18. Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. We got rules and regulations. Let me show you witchcraft. Witchcraft is to use things to convince people to go against their own best interest. Whether it be smooth words, whether it be weed, cocaine, drugs, music. It's all witchcraft. It's all witchcraft. Suffer a witch not to live. Them women getting up there. Sunday's best. Remember that show? Sunday's best. Sunday best. All the gospel singers. Witchcraft. Witchcraft. Why? Because Leandra Johnson got up this song and we all got goosebumps in it. That's what the show is. It's witchcraft. Do you know you get the same physical reaction if you go to an Aaliyah concert, if you went to what's that homosexual Donnie McClurkin concert or a Winans concert? The same goosebumps and feel good, warm, fuzzy you're gonna get at any concert you go to where the singer's worth their salt. It ain't no big deal. If you sit up and listen to a fella that know how to orate, know how to give a speech, he can give you goosebumps just as well as T.D. Jakes can. Right. And he don't have to be talking about much either. Understand? So like it. On one con. Exodus 22. You say other one? 22 through 25. Through 24? Kind of a con. And again, we're looking at laws. Exodus 22 and 22. Ye shall not afflict any widow or fatherless child. How's that working for us? How's that working? We afflict the widow. You know, we see a fatherless child, that the first thing we think about is that child got an easy mama. Right. And she may very well be a widow. But we look at her as a sexual object. Verse 23, if thou afflict them in any wise, and they cry at all unto me, I will surely hear their cry. Watch this. You better be careful. Be careful. Widow and a fatherless child. And guess what? 85% of so-called African American households are headed by what? Single women. So 85% of all the families are fatherless. Right. Do you know the Most High is going to get you for how you tricking these fatherless children and leading them further away from him? He's not going to play. He just said right here, if thou afflict them in any wise. You know what I mean when he say in any wise? In any way. No matter how you afflict them. Or if you afflict them anyhow. In any wise can mean any way or in any how. You afflict them and they cry out when these fatherless children, watch this, start coming into the truth of this word, listening to these priests and prophets of the Most High, and they begin to cry out to the Most High, Creflo, you in goddamn trouble. T.D. Jakes, your head coming off, man. Because Christ will come back. Verse 24. This is the Most High speaking. I'm going to pick up verse 23 and read it into verse 24. Exodus 22 and 23. If thou afflict them, that's the widow and the fatherless child, in any wise, and they cry at all unto me, I will surely hear their cry, and my wrath shall wax hot, and I will kill you with the sword, and your wives shall be widows, and your children fathers. Look at here, Mr. White Man. Look at here, Mr. White Man. You know, 85% of our households are headed by single mamas, right? That makes a lot of the Lord's children fatherless. Fatherless. And guess what? We are beginning to cry unto him. We are beginning to cry unto him. And you are going to see the power of the Most High. You already see it. I'm so tickled with this weather. Psalms 83 say, make them afraid with your tempest. And every time we turn around this hurricane season, something been going on, killing up white people, making them scared as all get out, afraid that last tornado. I don't want the Lord is paying them back that way. And guess what? These white folks have been making us fatherless forever. I remember growing up during the 60s and how they peeled the black man out of the community and sent him to Vietnam and brought him back a heroin addict. Shell shock, we call it. They call it PTSD. See, when we get it, go to war, we come back and we crazy as hell. They just say we shell shocked and ain't no money for it. White boys went to Iraq, started coming back here, killing up shit. They called it PTSD and got all types of money and got a whole section in the VA just for PTSD. They studying that shit now, but when it was affecting black men coming back, it was affecting the children of the Lord. You ain't have no money for it, and it was just a lazy nigga who was a drug addict that wasn't worth a damn. But with all them drugs you brought in the 60s into our community and began the downward spiral, and then in the 70s, and begin to teach the children that they didn't need a man. Teach the children of the Most High that they didn't need a husband. And so 14 and 15-year-old girls were determined to raise kids by themselves until now you got this people so destroyed that over 85% of our families don't even have a man at the head of the house. The gates of Judah languish. Why? Because we turned away from the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High. But we see here the Most High said when we turn back to him, even though we are fatherless and our mothers are widows, if we turn back to him, if we cry unto him, he's going to hear our voice. He's going to hear our voice. But we can't keep going around here celebrating Christmas, New Year's, Easter, Mother's Day, and all these crazy pagan holidays. We have to be like the king who they brought the scriptures to and read them to him. He heard them for the first time and he rent his clothes and he tore his clothes because he said, what the world have we been doing? And I understand that's what we need to do. These laws and statutes are here to raise us up above all the people on the face of the earth, to teach us how to live. So that we can teach the world and we can rule over the world. Go ahead.
Salakia, sir, Bible shout out, Mary. I just got a quick question, sir. This might be a little off topic, but why do people, or most Christians, so I know you probably got into it with a Christian about following the law. Why do they don't want to follow the law, even if you bring out scripture?
Why don't Christians want to follow the law even after you bring out scripture? The scriptures speak about these people who even after you show them what the Bible says, that still don't want to keep the law. It says of them, you are of your father, the devil. The Bible teaches that you can't have two masters. You either love one and hate the other, or hate one and love the other. And the Christian is a selfish bastard, particularly the so-called African-American Christian, the black Christian. He's a selfish bastard that's been given positions by the white man that they don't want to let go. They've been given. See, it was at the expense of the black man that the black woman was elevated. in the white world. And so instead of returning to her original position and allowing, and I'm not talking about ISUPK sisters, those sisters lifting, they in their spot and they're performing well, and the brothers are there, can perform as well and do what the Most High sent them to do, and we work in harmony with each other. But in this Christian world, the sister don't want to come into the truth, because then she has to give up her spot as evangelist, whoever. She has to give up her spot as pastor, sister, whoever, and she has to stop usurping the authority of men. And if her husband dies and her son is of age, then she will have to say Khan, Anawan Khan, to her son. And she don't want to do that because she wants to believe that she can be like God. It all relates back to her being naive or close to Eve. All Christian women are naive, all of them. All Christian women are naive. What did Eve fall for? And ye shall be like God. Huh? If you do it this way, if you eat this fruit, you shall become like God, knowing good and evil. And for Eve to become like God, she necessarily had to do what? Usurp the authority over Adam. Because it was already set up that it was God, Adam. God, Adam, then Eve. I will make you a help meet. Here's your help meet. She's here to help you. Your job is to run, is to do what I tell you to do. But then Eve running to the white man over here, whispering in the ear, hey Eve, look here. You really got to do that? If you do it this way, look here, you're going to be like God. Which means she was more than Adam. And if you notice, you go into these Christian churches, these sisters ain't trying to be sisters. They trying to be Adam. They want to be the preacher. They want to be the pastor. They don't want to be deaconess. They want to be the deacon. They want to be in charge of all men. They want to destroy you. And so they've chosen the devil's side as opposed to the Lord's side. They've chosen the white man's side. They've chosen to accept the gifts of the white man rather than obey the laws of the Most High. That's what that's all about. And with that, we're gonna bring the class to an end. We got Priest and Officer Barak Yah. We're gonna ask him to come up in a second and read the security announcement. Look at here, Israel. Let these holidays go. Let's get back to these laws, these statutes and commandments of the Most High. Easter, it ain't worth the shit. Mother's Day, not worth the shit. And Father's Day, fellas, don't even think about it. Just forget it. That's the reason they do Father's Day the way they do it, is to sucker you in to want what they're doing for the sisters when they come to Mother's Day. And all they're doing is leading our sisters more and more to self-worship, idol worship, to disobey the Most High. Don't fall for it. It's a good thing they don't celebrate Father's Day like they do Mother's Day. With that, shalom, Israel.
ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK. Started out 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits. For 6 months, they are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After the 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After the 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithe, which is a tenth. Numbers 18 and 21 means tenth in the Hebrew. Ma'ashua, 10% of every penny of any increase of the Lord gives you. Give to the treasury department or teachers. Priest fund, free will of offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holidays. Holy convocation. What is it? Passover. April 19th. April 20th. 2019. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black. Boots, shirts, pants, and headbands. I want to give a courtesy announcement to the teacher. A courtesy salute, Salaki. Amazim, Mon Shabbat, Amazim, Barak, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahshua Brakatah. That being said, class dismissed.
Nobody tell you crack. You know why? Because I never saw you before. But you a black man like me. And it works out.
My whole life was trying to find something to follow. Had loyalty, every man tried to borrow. Felt pain and a lot of sorrow. Got betrayed, so packed, I didn't even have my heart broke. Living confused, about to lose hope. Cops got me on the side of the road like a sideshow. Need an antidote before I croak. Now I'm setting fire to rhythm man blues, call this guitar smoke. Rebel with no cause, trying to find direction. The world got me vexed. Picked up a bad liquor habit that's hereditary from oppression. Felt like my life was on fire, trying to find an exit. Now look, 10 G's plus a good wreck. Sometimes a follower is a soldier, trying to find a good ship. Plus when you in hell, how do you excel? Wisdom the breath of life, I don't believe in fairy tale. Listen well to what I tell. No calling can cause pain. Something that a rebel knows very well. Can't you tell I was sent from the Lord? Got a tongue like a two-edged sword. With